Okay, we are on. We are live. I'm just pulling up the group so I can see those comments because it doesn't show me that on our feed. So 1 second. Okay, we are on. All right. Laura, are you ready?
Yeah.
Awesome. How is everyone today? Happy Thursday. Super excited to talk about building teams. Right, everyone? We were talking about it last night on the webinar. People aren't always sure how to delegate things out. And so we wanted to kind of do a live on this, on how to build a successful team in real estate. So if you are on, say hello. I want to make sure I'm able to see comments. And also, where are you located? We would love to know where you all are located. Hey, Vicki, thank you for letting us know in the group. Anyone on their other channels, we would love to know all about that. Laura, do you want to talk a little bit about where you're located right now? Why having a team? Why having a team is so important, right?
Yeah, I'm actually on the road, guys. I'm here in South Padre Island in Texas, but I'm actually live in South Florida, and not sure why we came here right now because it's like 37 degrees right now, so it's cold.
Look at the change in outfits, Florida
Right?
to her. Yeah.
I know. And I totally was, I mean, I was going to have a cold front, but I wasn't really prepared for it. So I didn't bring as many like warm clothes. But anyway, that's the great thing about this, guys, that we're going to talk about today is to build a system that you can travel. Not only you can travel in RV on the road like I'm doing right now, but even internationally. We're going to go to Tokyo next month. We're going to Europe this summer. And our business is not going to slow down because of our traveling. And one of the things I do, it's like I work in the morning till about 12 noon local time, wherever I am in the world. And then after that, I take off. Now, when we go to Tokyo, Japan, or Europe, there's 6 hours difference. So again, I adjust when it's 12 o'clock Eastern time, United States, right? So I work from 7 a.m. to Eastern time. So sometimes happens that I have to work in the evening over there to make up the time. But that's how I do it. And then when you have a system and you have a team, our time is spent more on the phone and in Zoom meetings every morning to really tell the team what to do for the day. That's it. And then the rest of the day is yours. So, you're not really worried about doing all the small things. But Liz is going to go into a lot of details here in a moment. So be ready to take a lot of notes. And we shared the PDF with you a couple of days ago that you should go and check it out. And now we'll help you put the system together.
Yes, so at the beginning of the PDF, you will see that we gave you a quiz. And what this quiz is, are you ready to hire? I never recommend that you hire right off the bat. You need some time to learn the business yourself. But then once you have done a couple of deals, you can do it on your own. And why is that so important? I shared this at the webinar last night that we did, the workshop on wholesaling. It's so important that you understand how your business is ran so that people can't tell you what you're telling them doesn't work. Because you know how to do it, you've done it. Also, if you're hiring people that are cold calling for you or running text messages, you need to know what to train them on. And so in order for you to know what to train them on, you have to do the job first. So I always tell everyone, at least do 1 to 2 deals yourself, then take some of your profits and start implementing that in there. But we have other things before you even build that kind of team. We talked about that last night. There are people that are specific to what you can do right now as a new to, you should already have it if you're doing this as an active wholesaler. So, a wholesaler, buy and hold, fix and flip, these people should be on your team for a successful business. So at the beginning of this PDF, we gave you a quiz, are you ready to hire? Then let's talk about the 3 people that we recommend, top 3, that you want on your team right off the bat so that you are successful in real estate investing. I'm going to name them, and then I'll let Laura, because she's done as far as agents, that as well. So, we have number 1 is a title company. And not just any title company on your team, one that knows how to work with you as an investor. A lot of them are going to say they are investor friendly. They are not investor friendly. You have to ask specific questions, especially if you're more on the wholesaling side, so that they can work with you. You want to know that they work with wholesalers, that they're okay with double closings. Some states will even let you use end buyers funds, all of that. So Laura, do you want to kind of dive in a little deeper on what to look for as far as that on a title company?
Okay, I'm sorry. I had to step away to turn off the heat. I was making too much noise. What did you say?
Just the first member on their team is a title company.
Yeah. You want to work with a title company that is what quote unquote investor friendly. What do I mean by that? That they understand what investors are looking for, especially when it comes to wholesaling, which is double closing. Okay, will they let you use the end buyer's funds? Will they help you correct deficiencies on title? Because any title company can do a title search, give you the title search, and then at the end of the day, you have to figure it out what to do. And I can tell you from experience that the title company are more equipped, they're more successful in cleaning up title, work out liens and adjustments than you are as an interested party. Okay. So is the title company willing to do that? Does the title company have a department that they can refer you that can do that? Are they allowing double closing where the end buyer comes in with their own money so you don't have to borrow money to do a double closing, right? So those are important consideration that you do. Now, one other thing I want to say, title company, if you find a good title company, let's say in Florida, they can close anywhere in Florida. Nowadays, with mobile closing and so forth, you can even close via Zoom online. Okay, we don't even have to go anymore in title company. That's great, especially when you live out of state. They also allow mobile notaries. You can notarize online too, right? And that's the thing is coming out now, so you can actually have a closing, be here in Texas, I have a closing in Florida, but I'm closing from here, and then I send to them the documents overnight via FedEx, but the closing is executed on the day when I close. So that's why you can be anywhere in the world and still do closings via mobile notaries. So this is how the world is evolving to this virtual type of business. Okay. But you want to work with a title company that are up with the times, that they understand this is how it's done, and they're not afraid to do that.
Okay, great. So then moving into the next, which is you want an agent. Agents are incredibly beneficial to you as an investor. Now, is this a must have? No. But Laura, who has been licensed and an investor at the same time and has worked with other agents, wants to explain a little deeper of why this is so important. I can tell you right now, my partner in St. Louis, the one, I have an agent that helps me. She's my boots on the ground. She helps me deal with sellers and buyers. She's the person that really helps me continue my business there on top of my team. So I'm going to let Laura share a little bit about agents and what you are looking for and also how to be an agent and an investor.
Right. Yeah, and that's the first questions I get a lot from the students. Do I have to be licensed to be an investor? There are some states where it require that. Illinois, Oklahoma, and Nebraska right now do require you to be a licensed in order for you to do any type of real estate investing. Okay, and that's mainly to make sure that people are ethical and do things properly. And honestly, I'm not against investor being licensed, especially in light of things that have happened in the recent years. So, but if you're an agent right now, I wouldn't tell you to give up your license to be an investor. I've been an agent for over 20 years. I'm not licensed right now in Florida, but I've been licensed in Hawaii, Missouri, and New York. And it has a lot of benefits to it. First of all, people see you more as a professional. You're more trustworthy. You understand a little more of the jargon and the do's and don'ts, especially in your states and so forth. So it's a good thing if you have a license. Now, if you're not licensed, unless you are in a state that requires license, don't worry about it. Okay, just work with an agent that is licensed in the state. Now, also, if you do virtual, you can't be licensed in every state where you're going to do virtual investing. So you want to work with boots on the ground. So what are you looking for? Well, I'm looking for an agent that is, first of all, kind of listens to me. Okay. So that, somebody that comes to you and say, oh, I've been in real estate for 10 years as an agent. I know what to do. And they're trying to actually tell you what to do around the business. I tell them, no, they have to listen to me. It's, you can tell them, hey, I work with a partner, I work with a coach. And I tell my student, I have nothing against you getting a three-way call, and we kind of tell the agent how it should be run. So with that being here is that you want to really make sure that this agent is something that you vibe with. And a lot of time by talking to somebody, you can just see that, this person is easier to work with or is harder to work with. How do you find this agent? Well, a lot of time I read posts, right? You can go on Craigslist, you can go on Facebook Marketplace, you can go, there is a website called ActiveRain, RAIN.com. It's a microblogging site where a lot of real estate professionals, from mortgage brokers to lenders to title companies and attorneys, write articles as a way to really create a following and let people know about their business, right? But then by reading these articles, you find, you kind of read more about the personality, how they come through and how they present themselves. So there are plenty of sources out there to really find agents to work with. And like I said, it's interview a few and then choose the one that your gut feeling says it can work with you.
Okay, great. So we have those top two that we definitely 100% recommend having on your team. And then moving into the third, Laura, would you like to state the third?
What's the third?
So who do you need on your team to be successful? You have your agents, you have your title company. I made the PDF, so that's the issue.
Oh, okay.
And then you have a virtual assistant. Now, this is someone, if you want to scale, who of you wants to scale? Who wants to become, like, doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 deals a month, whether it's rentals, fix and flips, or wholesaling? Who wants to scale? Comment so I can see. Also, because I don't know if I can see from my other channels. Who's interested in scaling? Okay, one person.
How many do we have on the live right now?
Quite a few throughout the platforms. Probably altogether over 60 throughout all the platforms.
Oh, wow. That's good.
Okay, there we go. I see him in the Facebook group. There we go. Okay.
Only one interested to scale. Okay, guys.
No, we got a few more coming through. They're coming through. So in order to scale, though, you can't be doing all the day-to-day stuff. You can't be calling sellers, pulling lists, skip tracing lists, organizing the leads, putting them in a CRM, then texting them, then following up with them, then chasing them down, then putting it under contract. That's just not going to happen on a business where you're also going to gain the financial and time freedom that you're looking for. So eventually you need to delegate some of that out. And so in order to thank you, Sandra, now I know YouTube works. In order to delegate that out, you need to have somebody on your team that runs the day-to-day things, and that is what a VA or a virtual assistant is for. We have VAs that are out of country that are a little more cost effective, and then we have local VAs that do their calling and our texting. And having those agents on your team, those VAs on your team is really, really critical to your success. But wait for a deal or two and then add those people in, because they will help you scale. They keep you accountable because they are doing the work. You're not going to not follow up with a lead that they send to you. But especially for those of you that do not like to cold call or have jobs and it's really hard for you to have these assistants on your team to kind of keep your business running so you can travel, work, be with your family. I find that incredibly crucial.
Right. And let me ask a question here. The people here on the live, how many were on the workshop last night? How many were on there? Remember that when we talked about the quick wins and the long nurture, remember we talked about the two type of leads, where the long nurture, you need more of a system in place, right? You need a little help. But if you don't have even and you don't need that much in the beginning. Even if you have a virtual assistant doing some basic stuff, even if you spend $200 a month doing some basic stuff, she can take off of the heavy lifting, because a virtual assistant, you average pay about $7 an hour. So, if you can give somebody 20, 30 hours a month to really free up your time, 10 hours a week, just imagine how much can be done that you don't have to do, and you can focus more on what I call money-making activities, okay? And if you really don't have the budget for the long nurture, even $200-300 a month to pay for virtual assistants and some tools might seem a lot to you right now, well, then they do the quick win side of things, right? And you don't need any of that. So that's how you look at it. Do the quick wins, get some cash going, and then you invest the cash into the business, and then you can get more. But that's how, they do it. Or even if you need some help, a lot of people come to us for coaching, but that's really the only money they have. So how do we get more money? How do they even pay off their credit card for the coaching, right? I tell them, let's do a quick win. That's ATM machine money, guys. That's what they tell them. Quick wins, look and think of ATM. I said that 3, 4 years ago to one of my students, and something clicked with him. When I said that wholesaling is ATM, he was doing rentals before. Then he used wholesaling to pay off his rentals. And he told me a couple of weeks ago, when you said that wholesaling can be my ATM machine, that's what it clicked. But then you invest money into the business, but you can keep it simple. You don't have to have all this huge operation here to make a lot of money in this business. Okay. Keep it simple. But the thing is, yes, having a virtual assistant in the beginning to help you even take 20, 30 hours a month off of your back, trust me, it will free up a lot for you to actually do things that matter, which is look for more deals.
Great. Okay, so those are the three. I do see comments coming through of people that were on last night, so you did hear some of this last night. But these are your top three essential people to have on your teams. And we do that quiz in the PDF because it really states when you should be when you're ready to have somebody added to your team. Okay. So now moving into moving into raffle time. Who is excited for the raffle? Now, for those of you that are not in our Facebook group on our other streams, we are raffling off this adorable purse, wallet, tote. Like they're raving about it in the Facebook group. We have a Facebook group here where right now it's just easier to track in there. How do you win the raffles? You get into this group and you comment the crap out of all our posts, okay? What we do is we honor whoever has these comments the most throughout the week. Every Thursday morning, my assistant goes in and she'll see who commented the most. Facebook will show us. They get to win this raffle prize. And so it changes every week. Some weeks it's back to back. Who wins just because they are the one that comments. And why do we do this? We do this because we are promoting a community here. And you're putting in an effort every time you comment. More women comment. More women comment as well. And it just builds this community. And we want to reward the women of our group, right? So here is the lovely raffle. It is adorable. Who is excited about this raffle? Who wants to win? Who wants to win? I think it matches pretty cute with like Valentine's Day coming up as well. All right. So the winner is Amanda Clark. So congratulations, Amanda. Go ahead and email in to our assistant, Amanda, at questions@realestateinvestingwomen.com, and you will be able to grab this. But you have to email in within a week. A lot of these are time sensitive. So definitely within the week. So congratulations again. Thank you for all that you're doing in our group. It is very cute, Sandra. And we are going to now move into the Q&A. Laura, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. I'm trying to move this around. Okay. Okay. So now how this works is go ahead and start answering questions. We allow one question per person on our Ask Us Anything. If you are on our YouTube or our one of my assistants, just in case, if you could send me Instagram too, comments. I'm not seeing comments from Instagram. If anyone asks questions, we allow one question per person. I will also have the group open. So let's get into the Ask Us Anything. Any questions that you have. Nothing's held back. Let's see. Waiting to see if anything comes through. This is always the hard part because there's delays. Okay. Shammy is asking, what is a good way to find a good VA?
You can talk on this one.
Well, I was trying to write names. So a good way to find a VA is there's different sources you can use. We have VA4 REI.com. That is where we find out-of-country VAs. And then locally we use Indeed, INDEED.com, or Fiverr. FIVERR.com to find our VAs. And then we go through this interview process. And when we do that, we are able to get to know them, hear their voices, see how they sound, see if they are capable of doing the task. Now, just keep in mind, you might have to go through a few VAs to find one that works great for you, but it is a really great source to use those. Next question's from Jennifer. Does it have to be on today's subject? No, you could. This is literally an ask us anything. Ask us anything. So, anything you want. I'm trying to go through all the things to see if anyone's commenting. There we go. Okay. So Julie's asking. Oh, let me see if I can make it bigger. I want to start wholesaling. Where do I find a good contract to use for transactions? A local real estate attorney or online platforms?
I would say probably online would be the best, honestly. A real estate attorney tend not to like wholesaling unless they're real estate investors themselves and wholesalers. So they're probably going to discourage you, or they're going to put clauses in there that would never make this contract live. Now, the contract that I use personally is a contract that I've tweaked over the last 30 years. It's only a two-page contract. You want to keep the contract simple. The most important thing is what contingencies or loopholes do you put on the contract to protect you. So I know we have a week where we go through training about contracts. So that's probably going to come up in a few weeks. So stay tuned for that, Julie. We're going to share with you what are those contingencies are going to be that you need to put on contracts, okay? But we use about 6 different contingencies. We don't use all of them. We use only 1 or 2 depending on the situation. But that's all you need to really protect you and step away. So keep the contract simple. It doesn't have to be a lot of fine prints. It's better not. There's some things that have to be on the contract. So stay tuned for the week where we cover about contracts.
Okay, great. And then Patricia Green on our LinkedIn is asking, in addition to 3 things we need to know in order to get started and investing, what else is important for us to know?
Okay. We had the webinar last night, and we had 10 steps to virtual wholesaling. And a lot of those steps actually also apply to virtual investing. We also have a webinar that we gave on 10 steps to virtual investing. So I would say the first thing you want to do, wholesaling, buy and hold, and fix and flip, is crucial, is choosing the right area. You got to know which area it is, and you have to do some research on how to choose the right area. That's so crucial. Because yes, you can wholesale or you can rent anywhere, but let's face it, some areas you get more for your money in rentals, right? You can make $400 or $500 per door net instead of just breaking even. Then also in some areas, better to wholesale is easier. The sellers are more willing to talk or negotiate. So choosing the right area is the number one thing. Second thing is what we talked last night, the distinction between quick wins and long nurture. I think it's also crucial when I go with the students, I push them into doing quick wins first to get some money going fast, and then invest into the long nurture where you're going to need the system, the VA, and all that stuff. The third thing I would say that, it seems simplistic in a way, but just do it. Go out there. There is nothing you can learn more than just by implementing, So when we do the training, when we coach students, the number one thing I have them do is use the training as a blueprint to actually go do deals. I tell them you can close a deal in 4 weeks from now. From today, we can get you closed by the end of February. But you have to really, be consistent and follow a system to get you there. Once you've done the first deal, trust me, the sky's the limit. But that first deal is so crucial. So, be consistent and, don't get ahead of yourself. Don't overcomplicate. Women honestly tend to overcomplicate, read through the lines. They're not sure. They have a lot of confidence issues. That's why I decided to focus on coaching women instead of men and women like I've done for many years, because I want to help you to build up the confidence, because at the end of the day, women can be even better than men in this business. You have a lot of qualities. You have the nurturing, the caring. You come through more honest. People love to work with women, especially when it comes to real estate.
All right, so Dr. Sims is asking, she says, as a beginner investor, any feedback on platforms as Batch Leads or PropStream? I am trying to decide. Coming from someone that works solely with PropStream, both are amazing tools from what I've heard from my other coaches as well as far as Batch Leads. PropStream, you have to try the trial. I would recommend doing trials on both because I know in some areas PropStream, not sure about Batch Leads, but PropStream is not up to date where Batch Leads is and vice versa. So I always recommend with any tool that you use that you really look through it, use a trial and check it out during that trial and make sure that it's one, user friendly to where you understand how to use it. There's a lot of tutorials, but also that those are up to date in your area. So that's my recommendation. So kind of look in between both and see which one you like the most. Moving into next question here is, let's see, do you recommend me getting a VA before I get my first deal? No. We are probably the only coaches that tell you to stop buying stuff once you're in our program. Here's the reason why. We do not recommend that. We do not recommend you constantly purchasing. You're going to go through all this stuff. You're going to spend all this money without even having done a deal, without even knowing if you truly love real estate yet. So when you are that new and you haven't done a deal, I recommend that you do the deal first. One, like I said in the very beginning, it really shows that you can train your VAs, you know things work, and you're able to understand the business. And two, really, it's just the smartest option for you is to understand the business and let them know that, and you can train them better. The other thing is I don't really recommend getting a VA until you have done a deal because of money, all right? It's a budget thing. You don't want to put a ton of money in until you start seeing some kind of return. Now, the only time I've ever recommended a student of mine to get a VA is because they literally just didn't have the time, and so they needed somebody else to call for them, and then we helped train their team. So that is a way to get around it, but don't do it because you're just scared to call or whatever. Do it because you literally just do not have the time. And that is why we offer that, and we recommend that. Okay, next question is, Stacy's asking, do you train your VA personally, or do you look for somebody that already has experience? Here's the thing. I do not care if they have experience or not. I'm still going to train them. So honestly, I prefer almost no experience than experience because they are much easier to train. They won't go into a call saying things from old ways and old habits of working for somebody else. But if they have experience, it also is good because they have some confidence behind them. So I don't care experience or not. You still need to train them. You still need to train them personally. They have to use your tools, anything like that. Yes, I really recommend keeping that as a training. Hold on, I'm going down my list. Next is Jennifer. This is kind of long, Laura. I'm purchasing a small 7-unit apartment complex in my hometown in Oklahoma. My realtor there is going to be my property manager. What is a realistic expectation as to how much communication work from her is normal in exchange for her 10% salary? So she's asking, like, understanding that she takes care of getting repairs done. Does she give her a weekly report, a daily report? What is the norm?
Usually you get a monthly report. Now, well, if there's repairs is this property turnkey or does it need repairs, right? Because if it needs repairs, then yes, a weekly until the repairs is done, is up and running. That is definitely reasonable. After that, if it's turnkey and it's just a matter of finding out, regular stuff, a monthly report with your proceeds is enough. Okay. So it really depends where you are with this. And, but also, like I say, feel free if property managers need to be able to communicate as needed, right? So if you feel in the beginning you have a lot of questions or you want to understand, make sure it's somebody that communicates and is willing to do so. But yeah, project management / property manager once a week until the project is done. Only property management after everything is set up once a month is fine.
Awesome. Rosanna from LinkedIn's asking, what's your advice on wholesaling with the help of a realtor?
Oh yeah, I like what I call the MLS strategy. So it's definitely, but you have to know how to work with a realtor in order to get a win-win situation. So it's definitely a great way to do it, but there is some things you have to be aware of how to work with agents.
Okay, last question I have for right now, but doesn't mean others won't come in. Donna's asking, I have an opportunity to buy a mobile home in a park for a great price. It is rented, tenants want to stay, over 1% rule. My question, would you buy a mobile home in a park with a lot rent of $425 or avoid those?
I'm not a mobile home coach, so I don't coach on mobile homes. So
We
I'm
do
not
have
the
coaches that coach on mobile homes, though.
Yeah, we have actually one of my students who also invest in mobile home parks. But I personally don't, so I don't know what to tell you there. I don't want to say something that it might not be correct.
Definitely. Okay. Well, that was a really good Q&A session there. I'm trying to
Yeah.
see if anyone else comes in last minute with their question of the week. Any
Well, do you
last
want to
minute
tell
questions?
them what we have coming up next week?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so well, right now, as I said in the beginning, I'm in South Padre Island in Texas, but I am going to fly to Dallas on the 11th of February. We are going to be in Dallas. Liz is going to fly in from Florida, so you can meet us in person in Dallas, Texas, on the 11th. For we'll be there from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. What are we going to do? Well, we are going to do, first of all, we're going to share with you a lot of information. Okay. Second of all, we're going to do exercises. So if some of you want to learn more about implementations and also do some exercises together, you're going to be in a room. By the way, we're almost sold out. And I'm not saying this is a selling tactics. We have 4 spots left, guys. We have 4 spots left. So, once we sell out, then we probably have to create a waiting list, which we probably will. But with that said, it's going to be big enough to have a good community, about 50 women in the room, to work together. And we love these events because they're short, they're to the point, gets a lot of interaction going, gets you guys working together, and really build up the system. So if you're interested in system and wholesaling, buy and hold, fix and flip, analyzing deals, a lot is going to be shared there. We're also going to have food for you, so you don't go, since it's 11 a.m., it's kind of an odd time, so it's going to be a brunch served as well. You will have a takeaway manual where you can leave with the event with all your notes and everything. And also, we're giving 100 leads in the area of your choice for everybody attending. But like I said, I'm sure you're posting a link, Liz, in the chat here. But we
Done.
literally have only 4 seats as of this morning, so I know it will be sold out. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you there next week. That's going to be February 11th in Dallas. Okay. Worth traveling for because we've done events like this in New York. We have people coming in from Pennsylvania, from Massachusetts. So it's now was just people from New York City. The other thing that we have, if you can't make it to the event, you're not in Dallas, not even close, then you can also schedule a call with us. Schedule a call with us to see how we can help you get the business off the ground. I've been in this business. This year will mark 36 years for me, guys. I know it's probably more than a lot of you have been alive, but I've been in this business for 36 years, been in business longer than Elizabeth has been alive. So she was born into the business. So I've done anything from wholesaling to rentals to fix and flip, raising private money. I also am the only coach in the country that teaches on flipping luxury real estate. And I live in Miami, so why not? And I also started my real estate business in Hawaii 36 years ago. So I started by being a real estate agent and also flipping myself higher end properties. So if you're interested in that, we coach on that as well. We have only one program. We don't have a lot of different programs, a lot of different layers. No, we only offer the program where I know 100% people can be successful. I have proven track record. A lot of students have moved on to do great things. Some of the students are actually coaches now, paying it forward, and you will meet them in person if you join the community. So if you do want to schedule a call with us to see how we can help you to build up that business, whatever your business wants to be, we customize to you. We don't use a cookie cutter approach. It's more about what you want to do, and then I'll give you a clear path on how to get there. So we have the link here. Go ahead and book a call if you cannot make it to Dallas next week.
Okay, great. Well, we are going to go ahead and close out. I appreciate all of you for staying on with us. I hope that this was informational on building a team and really getting yourself out there. That is how we are able to live the life we have, is we have people that work under us, so that we are only working anywhere from 2 to 5-ish hours a week and closing 6+
Nico,
deals
we
a
are
month.
not on the video, by the way. I don't see you.
Oh, I'm back. Sorry, I do that because on Instagram it like splits our face. But yeah, so we do that so we can show you as well. So I hope you all have a wonderful Thursday. Definitely leave me feedback on what you thought of this live. Any questions that you have, any comments, concerns. If you're not in our Facebook group, please come and join us. We have so much fun in there. We're trying to bring it to all the platforms, but there's nothing like that community on the Facebook group. So definitely check that out. It's in all the links in our bios for all the streams on how to join. I hope you guys have a wonderful Thursday.
Yay. Talk
Bye,
to you next
everybody.
week.